I want to talk about a specific individual in the country, Mr. Narendra Modi, uh, one of the most obviously successful and prominent leaders in our country. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on what his leadership style is and what he's doing right or wrong, or what is it that's driving his success from a leadership perspective.
Speaking about Mr. Narendra Modi, I believe that he is a humble high achiever, and in fact he exemplifies the definition of humility in leadership. Why am I saying it? It's like I said earlier, humility is not all about being shy, not seeking limelight. So that's one of the definitions of humility, but it's a wrong notion. Humility is all about putting others ahead of yourself. As a leader, Mr. Narendra Modi is quite adept at putting the whole country ahead of himself. And also, when I look at many of the attributes which we talked about in the Apple and Image framework, he exemplifies all those attributes, be it curiosity, co-creation, purpose, finding opportunities in adversity, even lightheartedness, or showing gratitude.
I'd love if you could highlight these with some examples, because this framework is not so easy to understand, and Mr. Modi, such a prominent figure, is a great way to understand this framework. So please do, because I can see certain themes emerging, but please highlight this with a little bit more specificity.
Sure. Let's speak about the curiosity. I find Mr. Narendra Modi highly curious. He has got that appreciative mindset, and one of the attributes of appreciative mindset is curiosity. He's a highly curious person. I had seen when he speaks to college students or even the school students asking questions, that the curiosity on his face and in his eyes is quite palpable. This is what I have noticed. And also the purpose, like I said, he has got a purpose, and he moves ahead with that purpose. Again, another attribute of appreciative mindset. Co-creation, it's while he leads from the front, it's the entire team is with him. It's whether it is the foreign affairs minister or the defense minister or the home minister, it's a co-creation that's taking place. It's not just one leader taking the decisions. While he stands in the forefront, and of course politically also it serves the purpose of the government to put him in the front and do all these things that I believe that it's a co-creation that is taking place. And let's look at one specific example: gratitude. I had seen him in one of the recent videos sprinkling flowers on the people who built Ram Temple or who worked during the launch of the temple. I think that it's and when you watch him closely, the leader was not doing it just for political purposes. There is sincerity and also that kind of authenticity in whatever he does. Thanking people. He doesn't mind sweeping the floor or thanking people who did something good. And also look at the intensity, which is one of the most important elements of humility. He is quite an intense leader, right? He works many number of hours. He travels, and then of course for Diwali he goes to spend time with the armed forces, in those chilly conditions, in those hilly regions. I think that unless you are intense as a leader, you can't really exhibit these behavioral characteristics. If you have done it for 1 year or once or twice, that's a different thing. But we have been seeing him for the last 9-10 years now.
He's certainly driven by purpose.
He is completely driven by purpose. And I think that this is where it's a great example of a humble leader taking the country to high achieving standards. And that's exactly is the message in the book. When you have humility at the core of your leadership, you could take your organization to high achieving standards by creating the right kind of culture.
Right.
And that's what's happening in the country. So definitely I believe that Mr. Narendra Modi exemplifies humility in leadership, Varun.